Welcome to the Min Masters, guys, and today I'm going to show you how to solve a mysterious transmission leak that could be coming from just above your transmission pan, and it's probably due to this guy, your transmission dipstick tube O-ring. Let's get after it. So first step, I like to reach over here, pull out the transmission dipstick tube, set that aside. You probably don't have to do that because it will just come out with the tube when you pull it. Now, at this point, I do like to drain down the transmission fluid because in theory, and I haven't really tested this, but I'm sure this is what's going to happen. When you unbolt this tube and pull it out, there's enough fluid in the pan that is up that tube that it will gush out of the hole in the top of the transmission. And if you have a pan down there and you want to work with that, sure, go for it. Otherwise, I recommend draining it out. I'm fortunate enough that my transmission pan has this drain plug here on it, so I can easily go into there, drain some of the fluid out. If you don't have that, then you'll want to come forward here to your truck, and right here are your two transmission cooler lines. And what you can do is you can unhook this one, stick it into a pan or a bucket, turn the truck on, and it will naturally cycle the transmission fluid out. This is actually how you do a flush, and you can drain it out that way. Otherwise, you just do the whole pull it and spill it out and see what happens. So, on to the next step. So I'm under the truck looking forward towards the engine bay, and right here on the passenger side of the transmission, second bolt from the top is this one that holds the bracket that holds your dipstick tube on. So it's really far forward, so I'm going to show you my little setup for reaching it. All right, so here's my setup. I got a 16 millimeter deep well socket. You can use a shallow, regular, whatever. I just happen to grab this. This is kind of like your normal length impact extension. This is one of these like freakishly long ones. And then I just put these others on here for good measure. And you'll just reach forward and get it onto that bolt. All right, guys, so here's my setup all in place, all my extensions. I've got my stubby impact back here, and we're just gonna go for it. And just like that, the bolt is loosened. All right, so we're back up on the engine bay. Here's our tube right here. And so you'll just grab it and you will just kind of, all right, got it loose. And then you'll just kind of work it up. The thing that will get you hung up is the bracket. As you can see, I'm contacting the valve cover there. Oop. So you can see it's plenty loose. So I'm just gonna turn it. Once I get that bracket past the head and valve cover, it normally comes up pretty easy. There we go. So at this point in your thing, you can get rid of your dipstick tube and replace it all together, or you can do what I'm doing right now is I'm going to keep the existing dipstick tube because by all appearances it's in good shape, but I am going to replace this O-ring with this one right here. And if you're curious, there's the part number. And as you can tell, typical with Ford, it's Ford, Lincoln, Mercury type of deal. You can get these from a local dealership and they're pretty cheap. Otherwise, this was a pack of two I happened to find on eBay, but there's part number if you're looking for it. All right, so I got a couple of picks here. So I'm just gonna grab this guy and we're gonna work it right off. Okay, so there's our old O-ring. And then I'm gonna clean out this channel now to put it on. So I'm just gonna stretch it over and roll it into place. Now, I'm just going to do this just to make sure it's not like weirdly rolled and twisted. So it looks pretty good there. So time to put it back in the truck. Real quick, guys, if you like the t-shirt I'm wearing, this is the piston and spark plug US flag t-shirt. I also have the OBS Sunrise t-shirt, also very popular. If you want one, go down to the video description, click the merch link, and you go right to my store and get yours today, along with a whole bunch of other really cool stickers. All right, let's get back to the repair. All right, guys, so this part's pretty straightforward. You're just gonna take your dipstick tube, insert it back down where we pulled it out, and odds are you won't be able to land it right in the hole from up here. So I usually just set it right there, and then I'll guide it in from the bottom. All right, guys, so as you can see, there's the hole. And then you basically take your tube and guide it up through and into the hole. I'm struggling here because I'm using one hand to hold the camera. So as you can see, I've got it right in the hole. So I'm going to go back up into the engine bay and push down. And the only thing I'm trying to be cognizant of is making sure when I push it in that I have the right orientation with the bracket on the back side, which is just a function of kind of rotating it. So once you got in the hole, come up here in the engine bay and kind of start wiggling it, twisting it, and see if you can get it in there. Be sure to lubricate the O-ring, preferably with ATF or something that won't eat away at the O-ring, so that it will glide in nice and easy and won't abrade that O-ring. Now, I was having a hard time getting it in, so I actually used the handle of my dead blow here and actually tapped it, and it went in nice and easy with that method. So now that we got here, time to go back down and bolt it in. And now for the tightening. All right, so I'm going to torque this down, which I won't show you, but if you want the torque spec, the Haynes manual says the transmission engine bolts are 38 to 52 foot-pounds. So a pretty good range there. I'll probably pick a number right in the middle, torque that down, and we should be good to go. So there you have it, guys. Pretty simple to put your dipstick tube back in your transmission. At this point, you can start adding the fluid back into your truck. Now, it's not as simple as oil where you just dump it in there, turn the truck on and go. You actually have to put so much in there, turn the truck on, run it, so it draws that fluid into the transmission, and then you got to add more until the dipstick reads properly. So with my pan, I'm probably going to throw 5 quarts in there to start, and then I'll slowly start adding the rest until the dipstick tube is reading right where it needs to be while the truck is warm and running. So that's it, guys. See ya.